Welcome to Sports Center. From our nation's capital, I'm Scott Van Pelt. We got an hour with you to cover the day in sports, and there is a lot to get to. We will get right to Donovan Mitchell, who joins us after the Jazz win 2 in a row and retake home court advantage. And Donovan, thanks for stopping by. Your teammate Mike Conley certainly knows this franchise well that you're going up against, having spent so much time there. They're a rugged bunch. They're young, but how do you best describe the challenge that they're presenting? It took a 12-2 run for you guys to get this win.
Yeah, man, I've said this for a while. This team can compete. This team can compete. They fight hard. They got a leader in Ja who's, a really talented player. The biggest thing, man, was we just did it mentally. We had some physical mistakes, but mentally we executed. We did things. We got stops when we needed. We had a few breakdowns, but it's how you respond. That's what the playoffs are about. You're going to make mistakes, but how do we respond? And you got to give them credit. They fought, and Game 4 is going to be even harder, so we just got to be locked in for that.
We're going to talk to Joel Embiid a little bit later about not the process in Philly, but the process of the playoffs and growing. It's an evolution. And I just wonder, Donovan, for you and for your team, being the one, it seems like it would have to be different. What feels different about being that? An obligation that comes with it, wearing a target? I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah, even if we were number one, man, after last year, we came out with something to prove. I think that's the biggest thing, is understanding that we didn't finish last season the way we wanted to, and coming out and the regular season is great and all, being the 1 seed's great, but we got to take care of business here in the playoffs, and it starts with games like tonight. Continually battling, fighting through, and it's not going to get any easier for us. We're not going to come pick our way into anything, and I think we all know that, accept that, and going out there every night. And obviously, there's external noise about us being the 1 seed and can we do it, but the biggest thing is within ourselves. We stay calm, cool, collected, and continue to play.
Last one here before you get back to your guys in the locker room. It was 17 games in 39 days that you're out. And I'm sure the rest is nice on one level, but like NBA wind, I have to imagine it's a different thing. How long does it take to feel like, okay, I'm right? I mean, you played well, but I just wonder how you feel in terms of how you normally feel if you hadn't sat for as long as you did.
To be honest with you, I didn't play well. I was there in moments, but, I think there was times I missed my teammates on a few things, and there's things I could definitely do better. That's my biggest mindset. Understanding, like you said, it's been 39 days, but I'm not going to give myself any leeway. I got to be better. It's the playoffs. It's my job to go out there and lead this team. We did a really good job of that tonight. And the biggest thing is, like you say, you got to play. You can work out, you can run a marathon if you want, but game shape is different, especially in the playoffs. You just got to be ready and adjust to it. And, they got guys over there who can defend. Dylan Brooks is a hell of a defender. Making it tough.
Yeah, he is.
He's got to go out there and continue to battle through.
If I skipped 39 straight days, I would do a garbage show when I came back, I promise you. So it looks a whole lot tighter than my shows would if I skipped that long. Congratulations on the victory, man. Thanks for taking time. It's been too long. Good to talk again, all right?
Yes, sir. Appreciate it, Scott. Thank you.
All right, indeed. 3 little things on this great Game 3. The Jazz match a playoff franchise record with 11 threes in the first half. They wound up making 19, matching their Game 2 performance for the second most ever in a playoff game. This is the modern NBA, and they play it really, really well. Hitting 7 of those threes, the man we were just talking about, Mike Conley, who is the Grizzlies' all-time leading scorer, was playing in his first road playoff game in Memphis, which has got to be weird. Matches his most ever in a playoff game, tied for the second most by any Jazz player. Such an important win for the Jazz after splitting the games in Salt Lake. Across NBA history, the winner of Game 3 with the series tied at 1 apiece has gone on to win the series 73% of the time. All right, so here's where things stand. We take stock of the Western Conference after the victory. The Blazers also got a massive win to even up the series with the Nuggets. Lakers and Mavs both have a chance to get to a 3-1 lead in their respective games on Sunday. Bees take Game 1, full highlight coming. Nuggets, Blazers. Portland won Game 1, lost a couple straight trying to even up this series. Nikola Jokic and Jusuf Nurkic. Nurkic forces a miss. And it's hard to, you're not going to shut the guy out, but if you can make it difficult on him, well, then that's a win. And Nurkic did, as Jokic was 4 of 11, with the primary defender being Nurkic. Meanwhile, C.J. McCollum in his bag. And speaking of Norman Powell, he had everything cooking in this one as the Blazers grab a 7-point second quarter lead. Dame Lillard Didn't shoot well. 1 of 10, but had 10 points and 10 assists at the half. The Blazers starters outscored the Nuggets by 22 in the first half and had a double-digit lead at the break. Norman Powell continues a spectacular performance. Very familiar and comfortable on the playoff stage, given what he did with Toronto. The Blazers are up 21. Woo, woo, woo! Outlet. Powell, 29, which ties a career playoff high, and it is a 22-point lead. And the Blazers are rolling. And Carmelo Anthony, he turns 37, and the way he's playing, still trying to figure out how the heck it was he was out of a job for a while. And his familiar three-point celebration. Blazers get the 20-point victory. Blazers defense rightfully a target of some criticism early in the series. They allowed Denver to make half their shots and averaged nearly $120 the first three. On Saturday, Portland holds the Nuggets under 100. The field goal percentage 34%, which is the best mark in a postseason game since '78. Afterwards, Nuggets coach Michael Malone some strong words on his team's performance.
I thought we had some guys that were tentative, that looked a little scared, that we played soft. And, we'll have to be a lot better going home. But maybe this will be a wake-up call for that starting group, just to play harder. Good things happen when you play hard. We didn't play anywhere close to hard enough tonight. There's no silver linings when you get your ass kicked in a playoff game. And, I can't believe that we're actually talking about playing hard in a playoff game. That should be a given. It's a best of 3 series now.
Best game of the day by a lot. The Jazz and the Grizzlies. Ja Morant and this Memphis team, young. They built through the draft. They got a whole bunch of talent. Donovan Mitchell, in the very early going, he takes up all the attention of the Grizzlies, and that allows them to find Royce O'Neal, who buries the 3 ball. Mitchell kicks out to Mike Conley, who buries the 3. Mitchell again. He drives. He's gonna get doubled. O'Neal hits another 3. 4 assists in the first quarter after Mitchell didn't have a single dime in game 2. Woo, woo, woo. Let's run. Let's see what the young man does. It just looks so easy. Because it is for him. Ja with a 360. The Jazz, though, start doing what the Jazz do. Burying 3s. Conley. O'Neal. Jazz raining them to the tune of 11 threes in the first half. And that helped them build an 11-point lead. But Memphis, it's wild, man. Their identity doesn't change even though players do. They're ready for a fight. Grayson Allen hits the 3. It's a 6-point game. Jordan Clarkson really elevated this year as a player. 6th man of the year. Buries that one, and the lead is still 11. But here comes Memphis. Grayson Allen got to worry about the 3. Now he attacks one of the best defenders in the game, right at Gobert. Then Allen's got his hands up. I'm open, ready to tie things up. Feet set, shoulders squared, pure. Game is tied. Memphis down 3. Ja, that's cash, and the game's tied at 103. Mitchell gets Grayson up in the air. Attacks Valanciunas 3 the hard way. It's a big bucket at a critical time. The Jazz are up 1. Jazz now leading by 1. Getting close to 3 minutes. Again, it's Mitchell.
Big one.
That was huge. Leads 4. Conley was so good. Down low, Gobert. He gets fouled. Missed the free throw, but the lead swells to 6. Now it's up to 8. And so from tied late, give me that. Gobert with a big block of Jaren Jackson Jr. And it's a 12-2 kick to the finish line. And that allows the 1 seed to get a hard-fought 10-point win in Memphis. So after leading by as many as 15, the Jazz found themselves trailing just over 4 minutes to play. Utah closed. Actually, I said 12-2. Let's give them a little more credit. 14-2 is the finish. They hold the Grizzlies, I should say, to 0 of 9 shooting, and Mitchell had 10 of those 14. We welcome in Tim Legler now. And Tim, last night when we talked after the Clippers game, their stars were great, but you wanted to give some credit to some of the supporting players. Utah got some help here, but how much did their stars dictate the fact that they won this game?
Yeah, listen, I've had a tremendous amount of admiration for Utah all year. I think Memphis, they've obviously grown in terms of admiration. We all have for them. They're gritty, they're tough, but at the end of the day, you've got to have that star power to take over games, and you've got to play with great poise. Memphis fought their way back into this game, but then you look at the critical possessions in this one. Donovan Mitchell, great job with the up fake, takes it into the body, that athletic ability to manipulate the ball, still get this thing up soft on the glass. That's a superstar scorer attacking rim at a critical time. Next possession comes down. If you stay back on the ball screen, he's good enough to stop. We saw a lot of this in the bubble a year ago. He carried it over into this season. And then this last one, a little bit unfortunate for Memphis because you get two guys going for the loose ball, and as a result, Morant's out of the play. You've got numbers coming the other way, but take a look. This touches four guys' hands. O'Neal could have squeezed that. Conley could have squeezed that one off. Instead, they're patient. They get the ball down to Gobert. They see a mismatch inside. He turns with the big and one to basically seal the deal. So Utah played an exceptional game offensively for the most part. Memphis dug their way back into it, but then when it came down to that one possession time, you have a superstar in your team that can settle matters, and that's exactly what Donovan Mitchell did. And I think Utah, Scott, has been one of the most dismissed number one seeds in the history of this league. And I think tonight they reminded us of their style of play, how good that was all year in the regular season with the three-point shooting, and then again, getting a guy like Donovan Mitchell to be able to take over by making big scoring plays late. That's what their formula was all season long.
It's interesting you bring that up because I'm curious if you think there's value in being pushed as the one here. Look, we know that the road from here is only going to get tougher, presuming they're able to get two more wins. But, see, I think there's value in this because this is new to them. They haven't been a one seed with this group, and Mitchell's been injured. Do you sense that it actually this is good for them to get pushed early by Memphis?
I completely agree with that. I think it's a tremendous experience, obviously assuming they can navigate this and get through it. But when you have play a team like Memphis, particularly how physical they are, they're holding you, they're grabbing you. They're typically a very good defensive team. They had a hard time catching up to the three-point shot tonight in the first half, and some of these guys got unleashed, particularly with the quick early ones in transition. But to be tested in this way, where you have to make winning plays late, under pressure, and as the number one seed, there's an inordinate amount of pressure that they're feeling, even more so than just being in this situation normally. So I completely agree with you. This is going to serve them well if they're able to get through this series as they move on. This is a team that just has not been talked about very much despite the year that they had, because there are always going to be sexier stories out there. But this brand of basketball wins because they've got four different guys that are elite level ball screen players, and that's what this league is. And all four of those guys make great decisions, and they've got shooters all over the floor and an elite level rim protector. Team is legit, and this was an example of what we've been watching all year, and is a reminder of how good they've been.
I'm with you, but let's also tip our caps to this young Memphis team. Homegrown, young, new to this stage, and they made that one seed have to work their butts off late to earn this Game 3 victory. Tim, always appreciate you. We'll talk again next show, all right?
All right, Scott.
Still to come as Sports took the first two on their home floor, and wide open shooters were burying the Wizards. Seth Curry hits the three off the Bradley Beal miss. Danny Green, professional shooter, all three of these. Heat check, I don't know, just I'm shooting. At least all five Wizards are on that side of the floor, but the guy that's the 1-6er gets the rebound, and it ends up coming back to Tobias Harris. Sixers had 36 in the first quarter. Joel Embiid regulating. Wizards were hitting some shots, getting close. They got within 5, and Embiid answers with a 3 and says, everybody calm down. Ball fake. And he takes Robin Lopez to the rim. Then Daniel Gafford. He jumps, and Rui Hachimura said, to hell with all of that. You can see that Westbrook wasn't thrilled, wanted to see somebody challenge Everyone got out of the way of Embiid, who had 25 in the first half, which is a career high for him in the playoffs. And he was wondering, no, you don't have anything else to say now. Sixers lead grew to 14 by the half. It's now 18 off the steal. Tobias Harris gets to the rim. He had 20 and 13. Next Sixers possession, Embiid, regulate. That's unstoppable. Man's more than 7 feet with a feathery touch. How about 14 of 18, 36 points. That's the most points on 75% shooting in Sixers playoff history. Then Simmons, left alone, gets the lob from George Hill. Philly had 109 points through 3 quarters, second most through 3 quarters of a playoff game in the shot clock era. Starters didn't need to play the fourth. They get an easy win, 132-103. Sixers starting 5 dominant in this series, averaging over 90 a game, shooting at over 60% from the floor. In the last 50 postseasons, only 3 starting lineups have done that over any 3-game span. Both were recent instances led by LeBron James. At the heart of it, Joel Embiid averaging 29 points on 67% shooting by himself.
I can't imagine anybody playing better than him. He's playing, that was MVP level tonight. We tried different things on him, but good player. I mean, he's definitely a handful.
After a dominating performance, Joel Embiid kind enough to stop by, 36 points in just 28 minutes, and you grab a 3-0 lead. And Joel, these games at home against a veteran team like Washington, it's not unexpected to see them fight hard, maybe get a win. You guys were not about to let that happen. What was the mindset from your team tonight?
I mean, the job is not done. You know, we still got to get that fourth one. So we got to get focused. There's nothing to be happy about. But I'm glad we got the 3-0 lead. So, you know, just like, you know, all the 3 games that we played, you know, we've just been aggressive, defensively and offensively, moving the ball, playing with each other, and we got the results.
There was a period of time there in the second quarter where it was close. Washington's making shots. Then you hit threes, you dunk on people, and you're giving the crowd a little like, let me hear it. What do you enjoy more, Joel, than playing that well on the road now with fans back in buildings?
You know, I like getting into it with them because, you know, that boo, you know, they talk trash. It makes me play better. I like it. You know, so I like playing on the road, and, you know, I like when they do that because it just gets me going, and I hope they keep doing it.
Well, they didn't have much to say there in the second half. You guys put that one to bed. I want to ask one last thing, Joel, about the process, and I'm not talking about the one we've heard so much about in Philly. I'm talking about the process of learning how to win playoff games, closing out series, going deeper in the playoffs. That, too, is a process. How do you feel like as a team, with you as certainly the leader, that you all are progressing in that part of the process?
I mean, this is, you know, my 4th year in the playoffs. So, you know, you look at, you know, the first time that I got to this type of stage, you know, it felt like I was there, but it felt like I wasn't ready. And, you know, especially us as a team, as you grow and you keep playing in this type of games, you get more experience. And I feel like, you know, the past few years, we've gained a lot of experience, and obviously we added a great coaching staff. You know, that's been there. They've won it, so they've been helping us a lot. And then us as players, especially me, I just want to be, you know, go out there and just be dominant, whatever I got to do. Every single night I gotta deal with double and triple teams, so I gotta make plays for my teammates. You know, I gotta attack, I gotta be aggressive offensively and defensively. So, you know, when you talk about that process, you know, we had to start somewhere to get to this point, but this is only the first one. Like I said, there's nothing to be happy about. Job's not done. We gotta close it down next game and then worry about the rest.
Well, you guys certainly looking like the 1 seed, every bit of it, Joel. Thanks so much for your patience and spending so much time with us here on SportsCenter. Good luck the rest of the way, all right?
Thanks, Scott.
I almost wonder if not being the 1 helps the Bucks. They're playing They didn't duck anybody. They're just like, the hell with it. Let's play the Heat. If that's what we're going to do, fine. Looking to sweep them out in 4. Bam Adebayo off the Jimmy Butler miss. And the Heat, spirited effort, they're up 9. Same deal, same script. Butler miss, Adebayo the follow. 10.7 rebounds at the half. Heat led by 7. Here come the Bucks. Giannis, kick. Chris Middleton. Bucks starters, normally awfully good three-point shooters. They were just 2 of 16 from 3. That's one of them. And off the miss, this is another. And once again, it's Giannis to Middleton. And that deficit has now been turned around, and the Bucks lead by 4. Giannis. Bryn Forbes. 24-4 run at the end of the 3rd. 6-point lead. Udonis Haslem, the OG, trying to fire his teammates up. Nothing was going to work. Forbes, bottoms, double-digit Bucks lead. Less than a minute later, Drew Holiday, it's deflected, and it goes right into the hands of Brook Lopez. 3 the hard way. He goes for 25 and 8. Middleton, Giannis, elegant. Dante DiVincenzo, unfortunately for the Bucks, out for the playoffs. Loving what he sees. And then Drew, Giannis, triple-double. And afterwards, don't play with your what?
There's a saying, don't play with your food. We didn't want to play with our food. And we went out there, compete as hard as possible. Obviously, they made it really, really tough for us. But we kept our composure. We kept moving the ball. We kept defending as a team, and we were able to get a win.
We got a long ways to go. It's the first round of the playoffs. I think there's got to be humility, a humbleness, an attitude or a mindset to get better. We've advanced in the first round. So it's, whoever we play next, we got to have the similar focus, the similar, edge, willingness to play with each other, play together, all the things that we just did. Means nothing if we don't keep doing it going forward.
The Heat were food, Steve.
Got it.
Do a research on the Bucks demolition. They become the 3rd team since the playoffs expanded in '84 to sweep the defending conference champions out of the first round. They joined the 2007 Bulls, who swept the Heat, and the 2012 Thunder, who swept the Mavs. It's the manner in which the Bucks swept the Heat, though. Average point differential over 20 per game, largest in any series against the defending conference champion in NBA history, regardless of the round. And including the triple-double Saturday, Giannis averaged 20, 15, and 5 assists across the series. Second player to post those averages in a sweep, joining Elgin Baylor, who did it in just a 2-game sweep back in 1960. As for the Heat, the bubble was one thing, and this was something entirely different. Jimmy Butler was spectacular there. Tyler Hero, we saw really take a giant step forward, played with so much confidence. And I suppose the biggest difference, just in terms of percentages anyway, was Butler. The field goal percentage nearly 20% lower than in that magical run in the bubble in 2020.